everybody, Kaylin here at Full Purpose and Heart, and I'm coming at you today with another update video of our homeschool journey. We have just completed 9 weeks of homeschool, finished first grade as well as a little preschool on the side. So let me give you an update of a couple of things that have been happening on our side of the mountain. Okay, so we are 9 weeks into school. The weather is just now starting to turn ever so slightly, giving us some hints of fall, which I love fall. It is my favorite season, and I love when the weather starts to change and it starts to get cooler weather. So the kids are outside playing right now, and it's just such a dream. I love when the weather gets cooler. And I also love it because I feel like it refreshes my homeschool life a little bit, because we start to come inside a little bit more, and it just brings that learning at home kind of feeling into my heart. So I really love that. Which is good, because let me start this video by saying I am in need of a break. I can feel the drudgery and the, I don't know, just the roughness of homeschool kind of hit me this last week. I am unmotivated in starting school. My son is unmotivated, and we just feel like we're sloshing through the mud. So we're going to finish out. We probably have about a week and a half of scheduled time, and then I have my break. So we're just kind of trying to push through for that. I don't have like any props or anything. Sometimes in these update videos, I show you a lot of examples of things that we've been doing, but I just want to chat with you a little bit. I brought my son's checklist here to help me remember and go down the list, just so I can hit on all of the subjects. So really quick, we'll talk about first grade first. In my last video, I talked about how I have not been bringing the gospel into my homeschool. We haven't been having like a special time with the Lord in the morning, like is my dream, I guess you could say, and I'm not fulfilling it. We're still there. It's still an epic fail. I have kind of piddled around looking for different things. I looked at some apologia stuff. My concern is, or I guess my struggle is that I don't want us to be strict, like a chronological learning of the Bible. I don't want to start in Genesis and then learn all the way through Revelations. Same with like the Book of Mormon. Being that I am a Latter-day Saint, a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, we believe the Bible to be the Word of God as well as the Book of Mormon. And so we study from both books. And we've done a lot of the Bible studying the last year and a half, and I've kind of wanted to transfer back into the Book of Mormon. So I think that I have something that I want to look into purchasing. I don't remember what it's called, so I'm not going to say it here because I'll probably say it wrong. But I have an idea of something. They create workbooks that go along with the Book of Mormon study. I've done the Friend magazine, but it hasn't been very successful. So we're kind of in the works looking for a good Bible study program that's less devotions. I don't know. Maybe it is devotions that I'm looking for. So anyway, I don't know. I'm still looking around, and I'll update you when I find something for that. As far as like Explode the Code and spelling, I really like Explode the Code, which is surprising to me because I didn't think I would have liked it. It seemed very, I don't know, just weird, I guess, because it didn't have colorful pictures or anything, but it's been going really good, and my son seems to like it. We're in book 2, but I'm going to actually bump up to book 4 when we finish book 2 and skip book 3, because book 2 really is a walk in the park. It's super easy, and I noticed when I was flipping through book 4 that it had a lot of the principles and concepts that was being taught in our English back when we were doing our English curriculum. So I'm going to bump him up to book 4, but we're still only about halfway, maybe just over halfway through of book 2 right now. So that's going really well. And the spelling program that I'm using, I'm still using it. We only have 6 spelling words. They're very simple spelling words. So I'm not overly enamored by it, but I'm not really super concerned. I'm just like, whatever. I don't think he knows how to spell these easy words anyway. So why not just do it? Because whenever I try to get him to do any kind of writing, he doesn't spell hardly anything correctly. So why not just keep going through it? It's going well. The math, we're using the Horizons curriculum. If you don't know, I am still really enjoying the Horizons curriculum. In fact, sometimes I'll have thoughts float into my head of what are we going to do for next year? Should I stick with Horizons? I know, it's September, like slow down, but that's just my brain. And I know that in future months or years, I'm going to need to hire a teacher to teach him math because I just don't think that I teach it correctly or I teach it well. Maybe I just need more confidence in that. I don't know. So I'm considering something like BJU Press or teaching textbooks, but I don't know. I guess we're still in easy maths concepts, so we might stay with Horizons. But the moral of the story is that I really do like Horizons. So there you go. We are not doing, I'll kind of throw this in, we're still not doing the Horizons English curriculum, which I purchased back whenever's ago, for the same reasons as before. Watch those previous videos if you're curious. Writing. My son's writing is not good. Penmanship. I'm talking about his like actual penmanship is not good. We have a pen pal that we've been writing to, and her penmanship is amazing. She sends us letters and my son can read them and it looks great. And then we have rewritten letters and I just end up sending just garbage to her. I feel bad because I can't get him to write better. So I'm looking into some actual like writing curriculum, whether it's, I'm looking at like handwriting, a reason for handwriting. And then I also, we did handwriting without tears last year and I wasn't super enamored by it, but we might do a reason for handwriting. If you have recommendations of great handwriting programs that can teach, you know, how the size of the letters, because my son understands how to write them, the letter formation he understands, but as far as like putting them on the page neatly, it just is not going well. And no matter how much copy work I give him or anything, it seems like he just makes a hot mess of everything. So I really want to work a little bit on our handwriting, and I'm kind of looking into a couple of different programs so that we can start going through some lessons on improving his penmanship. Reading, I have a couple of reading programs. One reading program we're going through is like reading comprehension as well as just story dynamics and elements. So I'm really enjoying that. It's a good conversation for the both of us, and he reads the story and answers the questions, and then I come in at a separate time and we kind of go over it together. So that's been going really well. We're also doing our read aloud of Huckleberry Finn. That is not going really well. We were doing a lap book that was done by Confessions of a Homeschooler. I dropped that because it was turning into me just asking him the reading comprehension questions, and then I was writing them into those mini books and sticking them into my lap book. So it was turning into my lap book, really, because it was the best. So, okay, sorry for that interruption. Anyway, so it was turning into my lap book and not my son's, and I just was... I don't know. I was like, why am I doing this? So anyway, we put that aside and now we're really just reading the book during our lunchtime. And it's going well. Cameron still likes the story and I think he understands it for the most part. So it's more of a read aloud. As the months kind of continue here in the next several months, I'm going to actually give him a reading book as an assignment and say, you have to read this book. So we'll see how that goes. Wish me luck. If you have recommendations of good first-time chapter books, like I don't want it to be one of those easy readers from the library. I want it to be like an actual book. I'm actually considering him reading Over the Hills to Nugget, which is from the Good and the Beautiful library. I think that might be a good start. So if you have a recommendation of this is the first book that he's ever going to sit down and read by himself, he's a pretty decent reader, so anyway, give me a recommendation if you have one in those comments below. I would appreciate it. We're still doing the geography curriculum. It's really simple, but I actually really enjoy in its simplicity how much it teaches with understanding maps, because I feel like in our generation or our day and age, the learning of how to read a map is not as important because we all have our phones and Siri will tell us how to get there. So I do enjoy in the simplicity of the curriculum that it teaches really great map skills. And my son really does know how to read a map and what is north, south, east, and west. So in teaching him this in first grade, I'm hoping that as the years go on, we can build on it so that when he goes out into the world on his own, reading a map won't be difficult for him. So So that's that. I'll briefly talk about our electives. We have a social studies curriculum we're doing through BJU Press. And we're going through it a lot slower than I had planned, but it's fine by me. I think it's good. We have started learning about our state, and I'm really enjoying just teaching all of the fun things about our state. We just barely are covering a unit called States Have Famous Places. So we've been talking about how different states in our country have historic places or different places that are famous, and I pull out pictures of places that I have visited. We've pulled out pictures of what we have visited as a family. It's been a fun conversation. And then we're researching, we're doing like a little first grade research paper. It's whatever, it's just like small. But anyway, of some famous places in our state. So that's kind of turning out to be a little fun. And then for science, we're doing the good and the beautiful, and we're doing the space science unit. And you know what? I hate saying this out loud because it means that it's true. But I'm pretty close to just closing that book and then we'll pick it up again at a separate time. I've been very disinterested in it. I haven't been very excited about it. I was very excited about it when we first started, but I'm very underwhelmed by it all. And a comment was made by one of my subscribers, and I agree with them completely. I feel like the Good and the Beautiful is a curriculum that's fantastic for ages like maybe second grade to like fourth or fifth grade. And on the actual curriculum, it'll say K through fifth. Is it K through fifth grade? But I think that those younger years really do better when they have older siblings learning the curriculum. So as the teacher, you're teaching to the older siblings, and then the younger kids just kind of pick up an understanding of, in our case would be the solar system, or if you're doing the human body or whatever it is. But those younger years, I just think that it's kind of, a little bit over their head, so you end up trying to modify it a lot, and then you end up modifying it so much that it's not interesting. So anyway, that's just my kind of opinion on it. I've been, like I've mentioned in all of my previous videos, just very underwhelmed and not very excited about it. And if the teacher's not excited about it, then it doesn't get done. Either A, it doesn't get done right, and so it's boring, or B, you just kind of trudge through it, and then it's boring and horrible, and the kid ends up hating that subject because you made it boring or presented it in a boring way. So anyway, so I'm nigh into just closing up our science unit. We're going to the planetarium tomorrow night, and I think I might just close the book on science. We might just kind of briefly go through the last 4 planets, but do we have 3 planets left? I think we have 4 planets left. Anyway, so that's kind of where I am with science. Those are my thoughts. If I'm way off base and you're loving it with your first grader, then there you go. Good for you. Pretend like I didn't say that. Okay, so I think that that's where we are with my, Okay, so I think that that's where we are with my first grader. Let me just quickly touch on my preschooler, because some of you have preschoolers and just kind of like to know what it is that I'm doing or some ideas that I've been doing to pass along to you. This last week we did our 5 senses, and we learned about what our 5 senses were. We did a couple crafts with them. I wasn't super excited about the unit. I didn't feel like there was a lot of stuff out there for me to bring into my preschool. We finished off, we just popped some popcorn, and I made them like first hold the popcorn kernel, and we like touched it and smelled it, and I even had them like put it in their mouth and kind of taste it and then spit it out. So anyway, we put it by our ears to like listen, is there anything going on? If we like push it around our fingers, can we hear it? So anyway, I think that popcorn worked out really well because it had all of the elements, and I could just pop it while they're sitting there. We sang a song about popcorn popping and on the apricot tree. If you're LDS and you went to primary, then you might know the popcorn popping song. Anyway, so that worked out really well. And then another thing this week that I started, and some of you might laugh, but if you know me, maybe you'll be like, yep, that makes sense. Anyway, I started doing an interactive notebook with my students. And this was the first week that I've done it. Instead of just going around the table and like assisting them in doing it, I had my own page and my own book. And they really did a better job. I guess because they were watching or they were modeling my example. So I would color the ant and then they would color the ant, and I was circling the letters, so they were circling the letters, or I drew a green apple, so then they were drawing green apples. I drew a leaf on my apple, so they were drawing leaves on their apples. So anyway, it really was a successful week for our notebooks because I feel like through modeling how to do it, they picked it up a lot better and they were having more pride in their work instead of just kind of sloppily throwing it together. Now, as a disclaimer, my younger students were being more sloppy. My daughter, for example, she just barely turned 3. So hers is a lot more of a 3-year-old standing. But especially for my 4-year-olds and my late 4-year-olds who are turning 5, they made really great notebooks. But that's not why I did it. I did it because every time I'm watching them do it, I'm like, I want to do one. They're just so cute. So anyway, here was my letter A for the week. So anyway, that's going really well, and I really love my interactive notebooks. And preschool is still fun. So we got all thumbs up on that end. Anyway, I think I covered a lot. Hopefully it was advantageous for you, or you found some kind of encouragement or a tip or information or something that you can take into your homeschool life or your schoolroom and have a good week for yourselves. If you have a comment or if you know anything like I was mentioning about writing curriculum or a Bible curriculum or scripture study or anything like that, leave it in the comment section below for me. Shoot me some tips or tricks so that I can kind of help hopefully point our family in the right direction. And then if you have any other things or thoughts, you can definitely leave them in the comment section below. I guess that's it. If you have not subscribed, I invite you. Welcome to our channel. Welcome to our community. You can follow along in my journey. If you would like to hit that subscribe button, then you can be notified when we make all of the new videos. Well, you need the bell to be notified, but you know what I mean. Anyway, have a great day, guys, and we'll catch you in another video.